Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. We are finally here after what, 5 years? Welp, everyone, the time has finally arrived. I'll be honest, I set those sub goals pretty ambitiously, but hey, we did it. And as promised, here's the cooking video. Why did it take so long? Well, mainly because I was trying to figure out what to cook the whole time. And then the holidays rolled around, and I never really had time to do any of this. So I ultimately decided on making homemade pasta, because it's fairly simple and it tastes good. So to start, we're going to need to measure out some flour, and for every egg you put into the dough, you're going to need 100 grams of flour. It's usually best to measure by weight, because it gives you a more accurate reading than just using, say, a cup. So that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm making a double batch, so 2 eggs, 200 grams, pretty simple. And you're going to want to add olive oil to the thing as well to bind it together, and it gives it more flavor. After you made your little flour mound and put your eggs in and the oil, you're just going to want to beat it with a fork until it starts to get pretty crumbly. Then you can just use your hands to mix it all together. Mind you, this might take a little while, so just keep working at it and you'll eventually get it. Soon enough, you'll have this pretty nice dough ball, I guess. It's pretty shaggy still, but just keep working at it. If it gets too dry, add a little bit of water. If it gets too wet, add a little bit of flour. Just keep working until it's nice and smooth. After all is said and done, just turn it into a little ball and cover it in some plastic wrap and leave it to sit for 15 minutes. While it's resting, you could take this opportunity to clean up your workstation and get the pasta roller ready. So let's go do that. Alright, now that the time is up, we can start rolling out our pasta. Just unwrap the ball, and then you're going to want to weigh it, and then divide it in two. You can take bits of one part and add it to the other if they aren't exactly equal. Just try to get them as close to equal as you can. Now what you're going to want to do is flour the workbench or whatever you're doing this on, and put each ball on the flour, because you do not want this sticking to your pasta machine. It'll gum up the works, it'll be completely awful and a pain in the ass to clean. Then you're going to want to run the pasta ball through the roller on each setting from 1 to 5 individually. You can skip every second one, it's just safer to do it one at a time. Personally, I think 5 is the best thickness for the pasta, but you can go thinner or thicker depending on your preferences or depending on what you're going to make. Now that our pasta is rolled out, you're going to want to cut each sheet in half with a knife, or better yet, if you want to make things easier, you can use a pizza cutter. Yeah, it's pretty unorthodox, but it actually works. The shape I'm making today it's what I like to call quadrati, which means little squares in Italian. And it's exactly what you think, it's little squares. Some people also call this mataiate, which means poorly cut, which I find kind of insulting. Thanks, Mom. Because if you've been watching me for a while, you know I love Minecraft, and also it's just a really easy shape to make. So yeah, go ahead and try it at home if you want. When removing these from the surface, you're going to want to flour up your scraper so you don't ruin the shape at all, and just move them aside. And then you're also going to want to coat them in flour a little bit so they don't stick to each other or anything else. I'm going to go ahead and cut this half sheet as well. Just going to transfer them to this cutting board real quick, because we're going to need a lot more space for the next shape I'm about to make. You can easily take all the leftover trimmings from the quadrati and just roll them back out. But what I'm going to do with the next sheet is I'm going to make some spaghetti. Same as before, just flour it out and cut it in half. Now in order to cut the spaghetti, I'm going to take one of the halves and feed it into the machine with the round end first, so that it glides in easier. And hey presto, there's our spaghetti. Now you're going to want to dust this pretty good with flour and mix it up so it doesn't stick to itself. Alright, now I've rolled out the second half, and then we're gonna dust that with flour as well, because these tend to get really sticky, so you're just gonna mix that up, and now you're good. Now mind you, I recorded this a couple days before I did this voiceover, so what we did with it was I just left it out for a bit to dry, and we put it in the soup my mother made. Now on to everybody's favorite part, the cooking. So what you're going to do is take about a tablespoon of salt, put it in the water, and just wait for it to come to a rolling boil. When it starts to boil, put your pasta in and just, wait for it to boil again. You'll know it's starting to actually cook when the pasta floats to the top. In the meantime, I'm just gonna cut up a little bit of garlic. After enough time has passed, just taste one of the pasta shapes, and if it's nice and tender, then congratulations, the pasta is fully cooked. Alright, before we drain it, I'm just gonna set up a little pan with olive oil in it, because we're gonna make some aglio e olio. Now, here's the part where I get honest. I kind of burned myself a little bit while I was draining the pastas, which caused about half of it to go into the sink, which made it inedible. So, my apologies. Now, once your garlic gets nice and fragrant, you're going to want to turn down the heat a little and add your pasta. Just stir this around for a couple minutes, and you can add a little pasta water too. I personally do this because it keeps the pasta from drying out in the pan. Now, there's a lot more oil in this pan than there should have been because I didn't expect to drop half the pasta into the sink, but oh well. But anyway, for the final touch, you're just going to throw some parsley in and stir that around till it's nice and mixed together. Real quick, I just want to show off my tossing skills. I've been practicing, and I think I've been getting a lot better. I hardly spill anything anymore now. So, yay me. All that's left to do now is sit down and enjoy the fruits of my labor. So, here we go. And turns out it's actually pretty good. Pasta really is one of the most simple things you can make. You can add a little bit of chili flakes too. My uncle grew this in his garden and sent it to us. Let's see how that is. Yep, it's pretty spicy. Oh, well, looks like I can't handle it. Oh well. Bye guys. Just want to say thank you again for 1,000 subscribers. Hope you had a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.